Hey everyone, welcome back to the gym. This is Franco from the Chaos Gym. I know we've been pretty busy lately with the holidays. We have to do a lot of holidays things with our families and stuff, but there should be more content and more video coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for those videos that are on the way. As for today's video, we'll be doing Yveltal Garbodor. I know it's nothing really new or anything super exciting or unique, but the deck itself has performed really well in a lot of events. It won the European International as well. So we figured we should do a video about it. So here we are doing a video about Yveltal Garbodor. And I'll be breaking it down card by card for those who are interested about the deck, or even if you already know. If you like to watch it, go ahead. But as far as the list goes, we're going to be using the deck list that Michael Pramwat used for his European International that he won with. The reason is because he won the European International, and I personally think the list was really solid. I liked it. I liked a lot of his card choices as well. So we're going to use that as a template and use his list for the video. So let's see. So here we have 2 Shaman EX, very standard, common, consistency, draw powered, really good. And here we have the non-EX Yveltal, the Fright Knight with the Pitch Black Spear attack. Personally, I think Yveltal is one of the deck that really reflects the player's skill to the performance, since the deck itself gives you a lot of options based on the tech cards you run and based on the board scenario as well. And I think Yveltal, this Yveltal in particular, I think is one of the key cards for the deck and provides you a lot of options as well. Fright Knight, obviously, a lot of us already know, he shuts off tools effects. So no Floatstone, Fury Bell doesn't give the HP boost. A lot of EXs become either 3 shots because of the 60 from the Pitch Black Spear. So the most common play that a lot of people does is Lysander, a Hoopa or something with a heavy retreat or something that does not have energy that can swing at you, and you spread the 60 or try to take prizes from it, such as like 3-shotting a Hoopa, 2-shotting a Shaman EX, or even putting 60 ahead of it to a threatening EX attacker and putting it into Yveltal EX's KO range. So the attack is really strong, and the ability goes really good with it as well. The technical part, I will say, with this card is, since it also shuts down your own tools as well. If you have a Fury Belt or Floatstone, it doesn't do anything as long as it's active. However, if you have Garbodor with Garbotoxin activated, Yveltal's ability it's not working, so you could use that as an advantage and use the Fury Belt to give up 40 more HP and make Pitch Black Spear do 70 damage to the active. Or you could even put Floatstone so Yveltal can retreat without having to burn the energy and use the attack for later game to close there or do any other play. So as you can see, there's a lot of options that you can do with this card, and he provides you a different option based on whatever board scenario you're on. So it's a very strong card, considering it's also non-EX as well. So that's one of the key cards that I will say for today. And next we have, Yveltal EX, very straightforward. Evil Ball is really strong. The more energy you have, or the more energy they have, Evil Ball does more damage. And White Cyclone is a nice attack, allowing you to move the energy to the back. That way, if Yveltal is about to get knocked out or revenge KO'd, you already moved the energy, so you will have another attacker to continue putting pressure to your opponent as well. So it's a very useful card. It's been it's been in the top tier of the meta for a very long time, ever since they got released, so no surprise here. Definitely has a really good synergy with the non-EX one, considering you can put it on the KO range. So here we have 2-2 Garbodor line, very standard. I know Azul played a 3rd Trevish, and Michael played 2 Trevish, but I'm pretty sure Michael decided to play only 2 just so he doesn't start off with Trubbish, because sometimes it's slightly annoying to start off with Trubbish. On the right side, having 3 Trubbish is nice because you can fall back. Let's say early game, if your Trubbish gets Lysander knocked out, you can hit another one pretty easily, or you don't really have to like necessarily burn your Ultra Ball right away for your deck to find it either. So yeah, it has pros and cons for either running 2 or 3. I personally like 2, but 3 is also good as well. So here we have 2 Enhanced Hammer, really strong. A lot of main attackers in this meta. We have 1 energy, any energy with DCE for attack, so be able to remove those double colorless energy and even the double dragon energy to stop Giratina, Salamence, or even reducing the damage for Darkrai EX is really useful. You can also even use for strong energies, splash energies from Greninjas. It's just, there's just pretty much almost every deck, I want to say, plays some sort of special energy, so it's very useful for the most part. Here we have 1 Escape Rope. It's a nice switching card. You don't want to rely all the time on Floatstone as well, considering there's also other Fright Night Yveltals going around in the meta as well. And also it's a very useful card just to force search your opponent and make them promote something else and try to knock it out or something like that as well. So it's very standard, really good, nice 1 card. And we have 4 Max Elixirs. This is also standard energy acceleration, very good synergy with both Yveltal, considering you just need 1 DC, 1 basic for most of the attacks to pull it off. And if you draw well, this could allow you to do it turn 1 as well. So very standard, definitely one of the key engine for the deck. 1 Super Rod. Obviously, this is standard too. It allows you to return the Trubbish or the Garb or even any of the attackers, Shamans, or anything that you need. You didn't need early game or it gets knocked out early game, but you need it for late game, you can put it back. Also, it has a really good synergy with Max Elixirs, allowing you to put back the basic energy, so that will increase your odds for hitting the Elixirs, since oftentimes we have to discard some of the energies early game as well. 4 Ultra Balls. Standard Shaman synergy, search out your Trubbish, any Pokemon you need for setup purpose, 4 VS Seekers for obvious reasons, for all the supporters that you want to reuse again. And here we have Delinquent. Delinquent is really good card, I want to say personally. I personally like it a lot. For a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons is because you only play Parallel City, and Parallel City is very popular now in this format. So if they play the Parallel Cities before you do, since you only play Parallel City, you have no way to bounce their stadium back. But with Delinquent, you can discard their Parallel City, and then you can play your own Parallel City with, I want to say, you can switch sides or change side the way you want. Other than that, Delinquent is just a really strong card overall, considering just having it in the discard pile puts pressure to your opponent, because if your opponent sees that Delinquent is on the discard pile, they really have to be really careful whether if there's a stadium on play at the moment or not, and how many cards they have in their hand, and with how many cards in their hand they're going to be finishing their turn, because they know that if there's a Delinquent on the discard pile and they finish their turn with 3 or less cards in the hand, there's a potential chance that they'll get Delinquent and they can lose all their hand. So this is a really, really good card to put pressure to your opponent and forcing them to manage their resource really, really carefully, because if not, you can catch your opponent off guard, and that could determine the game sometimes. So we have 2 Lysander, very standard. You want to pull something out to knock out, or even, like I said earlier, pull it out and make it stuck with Fright Night. Different options. 3 ends, very standard. Draw engine, consistency. 4 Sycamore, obvious reason, the main source of draw engine, just like a lot of decks. And I guess here we get to the little techie part where, let's see, where Michael decides to play one Pokemon Center Lady. Pokemon Center Lady is pretty straightforward. Heals, special conditions, and 60 damage. This is pretty big considering in Mirror Match, you can cancel out one of the 60 damage from Pitch Black Spear. So you can change the math and make a tie break, allowing yourself to get out from the knockout range as well. It could save your turn. There's other things such as giant water shurikens, and overall it's really just a good card to just, disrupt the math from and preventing that knockout and get an extra turn of survival, which that could determine of like hitting the right momentum or not, or disrupting your opponent's momentum as well. So I think it was a really good card overall. Very situational, but when the right situation comes, I think it could make a very tie break in the game as well. And the second part is the Team Flagrant. I personally really like this addition in the list because it has really, really good synergy with Enhanced Hammer. Like I said earlier, a lot of the attackers are usually one basic energy and a DC or some sort of special energy card. So if you manage to hit a Flagrant and Enhanced Hammer, your opponent will most likely not have enough energy to attack. So you can do different plays. You can actually, like I said, you can make them stuck with Fright Night and spread damage if you wish to, or even if you have an Yveltal EX and if they don't have an immediate response to those energy removals, you can pretty much just two-shot that and you can just take easy prize from there as well. Same with cards like Jolteon EX and stuff. When they go aggro Jolteon EX, and if you remove off their energies, if they don't have an immediate response to it, they have to break the lock, so that will give you a fighting chance. And that's one of the additions why I really like it, because it gives you a lot of options. It's just a combination. It's really a combination of all these trainers and Pokemon's, strength, like abilities and attacks. The combination of all that will gives you different options into the play to the board, and you can pressure your opponent in a different angles as well. So that's the reason why I really like this deck, how technical and versatile it is. So moving on to the stadium part, as I said earlier, it plays 2 Parallel City, very useful. On the red side is useful against Best McQueen, useful against Greninja. Volcanion, the -20 can do some jobs sometimes. The blue side, you can bounce your Shamans, or you can use it against Rainbow Road or Mega Rayquaza to disrupt your bench space as well. So there's a lot of use with the card. Very common now these days. A lot of decks plays Parallel City, so yeah, we see them a lot as well. Very strong. 3 Fighting Fury Belt. Very useful against all the basic attackers. Boost up to HP. 40 HP is really big deal. The +10 is really nice for Yveltal and even for Pitch Black Spear as well. 3 Float Stone, very standard for retreating purpose and for the synergy with the Trubbish. You want to hit that Float Stone really quick. Even if you don't play the deck with Trubbish, you can still use it for Yveltals as well. So very useful. 4 DC standard, 9 basic dark. The ideal number is usually 10 for max elixirs that I've been hearing, but I personally think, from my personal experience, I think 9 is fine as well. So, and with having all this like nice, edgy, techie cards with a solid consistency build, I personally think 9 is completely fine. So I think the list is overall solid. Another thing I do want to say is, with this deck, I know sometimes you want to know when to use Garbodor. That's also another key factor. Sometimes you want to use Garbodor straight from the beginning. Sometimes you don't want to use Garbodor whatsoever, and you just want to utilize your abilities. Or even sometimes you want to have a Garbodor for like mid game on, based on the scenario, such as like you want to end your opponent to a lower hand and then shut off their shaman so they can't really come back easily and such and such. So as I said, this is like deck that has been winning a lot of events, and we figured we should do a cover for this video. And for the deck, it's very technical, but it's not super hard either. If you want to get better at it, my suggestion will be practice with it, practice a lot, and start to try different things and trying to approach from different angles, trying to do different strategies, since the deck gives you a lot of options. So yeah, as I said before also, there will be more videos coming up pretty soon as well too, so stay tuned for those videos, and I'll see you guys later for the next video. So yeah, goodbye.